Okay, so we're back talking about AWS Connect architecture. And so I don't mean to overwhelm you with architecture and managed services, but this is sort of what I see in all different Amazon Connect configurations. There's just a wide variety of services that can be used with Amazon Connect. Some of them are definitely going to be used. Some of them, if you don't know how to use them, you won't use them. And but if you look at Amazon Connect configurations for different companies, small and large, you'll see different services being used. So in the middle, you've got Amazon Connect. Um, on the top left-hand side, as you see, you've got a customer can call in, use mobile devices, web, um, social networks, etc. You got the agent, which also is capable of using agent workspaces, looking at customer profiles with CRM, with Salesforce, looking at case management, um, and using step-by-step guides. And the agent can use Amazon Q to ask Amazon Q questions to query knowledge databases that were created very easily to help the agent help the customer. So, so the phone calls coming into Amazon Connect. Amazon Connect uh, uses S3. The sound files go to S3 uh, by default. There's sound files. There's different file paths on S3, and things are getting stored. Contact trace records, and JSON data associated with the agent, with the caller, you name it, it's there. So Amazon Connect is using S3. Now, um, what is on the left here with AI is really up and coming. It's really becoming very powerful, and it's really making Amazon Connect much smarter. So I'll come back to that, but just for observability, right? You got CloudWatch, you got CloudTrail. This stuff is being used out of the box, and we're getting information, logging information. You've got your security, right? You got your users in Active Directory. You got access control for IAM. So Amazon Connect is using that, and there's always permissions associated with something. So just keep that in mind. Now below here, like I said, this picture has no. I'm not going to say it's a very nice layered architecture. It's just high level view of what is used and what you can use. And so I'm going to come back to a couple things back up here. But so when the call comes in, it gets orchestrated, right? You have some sort of workflow. You have a generative AI. You've got campaign management. And so what happens is the orchestration, the workflow, takes over the call and talks with certain AI tools like, let's suppose, Polly is speech to text. And so a natural voice comes on and says, would you like to speak to a technical support agent or a billing support agent or a sales support agent? So there's, touch one for sales, touch two for technical, touch three for billing. Whatever the workflow is asking the customer to do, the customer has the ability to press on the phone dial and do whatever they want to do. So they're going to get routed to a particular queue. They want to get routed to skill-based routing. So you want to route this person to someone that could help them. Okay. So in the process, you got API gateways and step functions and lambdas to do custom work within those workflows. And you'll see how that comes into value there. And you've got data sets where you're saving data in DynamoDB, and you could use that. So in a workflow, if I need to call a Lambda to go to get data out of DynamoDB to find out something that could help the customer, I'm going to do it. In particular, an order is kept in DynamoDB. So if the workflow, the customer says I'm having a problem with my order, what's the status of my order? A Lambda could go into DynamoDB and get the status of the customer order, etc. And of course, there's infrastructure. We're automating. We could build infrastructure with CDK. Um, there's an infrastructure composer, cloud formation. It generates cloud formation. There's Terraform, etc. Amazon Connect uses communication mechanisms, and it could use WhatsApp. It could use email. It could use um, texting and Apple messaging, etc. So there's some level of communication there, and analytics is really powerful. You got contact lens, you've got Kinesis analytics, you've got Open Search, you've got forecasting analytics, you've got Glue and Athena. Okay, so when contact trace records come into Firehose pumps them into an S3 bucket. You could use Glue to create a data catalog, Athena to query them and find out information about them. Um, so, um, so all of these services really make up this AWS Connect ecosystem. And if you look at different vendors and different companies, hmm, so this is Amazon Connect ecosystem, and if you look at different vendors and different companies, different people use different things. And so just keep that in mind, that you do want to stay in touch on YouTube and find out how folks are using these things. Now, I I noticed that uh, use AppFlow. AppFlow allows events from Salesforce to come into AppFlow. You could connect it and pump it right into S3, so those customer updates and contact updates could go right to your S3 bucket, and that could trigger something putting that data into DynamoDB or whatever you may want to do. Um, but also, Amazon Connect has this concept of customer profiles where you could connect that, and AppFlow uh, would also be used with the customer profiles so that the agent can see the customer data. When the agent picks up the phone call, the agent can see the customer data. Um, so all of this stuff is really important. Um, now I did mention Amazon Q up here. The agent could use Amazon Q. Amazon Q, there's this concept of AI here, which is used pretty frequently now in Amazon Connect. Bottom line is I could create documents and put them, create a knowledge base, and I could have Amazon Q query anything I want using natural language. I could query and ask questions, and the knowledge bases on S3 will retrieve that information. Amazon Q will give you a list of information that you're looking for, step-by-step guides, whatever. And although that might be used in the agent workspace, um, uh, Amazon Q is really powerful, even with a self-service customer chat, because the customer could be asking a question. Amazon Q could get the answer without an agent involved and give you the answer. So I put all this stuff here, which is kind of a loaded gun, but it and it's kind of like when you first look at it, you're a little afraid of it. Like I started using SageMaker, that's building large language models, and it's given me a really good fundamental aspect of how I can apply my mathematics to machine learning. Very good stuff. But if you look at Bedrock, Bedrock has out of the box large language models you could use, and you can create uh, a smart agent, an AI agent to gather information for you using augmented AI. Uh, Much simpler stuff, much more agile stuff. Um, you're using these things. We are using these things in Connect today, and you use whatever you can use very quickly, Now, like I said, if you need a large language model, which is really specific, let's say a latent print fingerprint system, if you need something specific, you'll go into SageMaker and make sure you can create that model, train that model, make it smart. If you just need something really quick and dirty without uh, too much, specialty involved, you can go into Bedrock and use an existing large language model, and you could find out information about a lot of things that you don't need any, out of the box stuff that you don't need. Like I said, there's a cost associated with everything. Just be careful what you're doing. But these things are used quite a bit. Anything else I left out which is important? No, like I said, just don't look at this as a layered diagram. Oh yeah, EventBridge is very, very powerful, right? EventBridge, I mean, you could trigger events, and EventBridge could trigger events in your event-driven system. So all the managed services can get triggered. A Lambda could get triggered. A Lambda could interact with DynamoDB. You could, basically, EventBridge can load data into OpenSearch. So there's just a lot of things that can be used for an event-driven system. Now, Amazon Connect, the first goal is for a customer to be able to contact you and you get help and make money off that customer, help that customer help himself, and make sure you have a successful business and you have happy customers. So in some sense, Amazon Connect has some priorities there, but without saying, I've seen a lot of implementations which use all of these managed services to try to achieve that goal. Um, and then, like I said, I don't want to get too much into it, but here we have campaign management. Campaign management is big. And so, yeah, if I want to advertise something on Facebook and have those events of people who are interested come into my Amazon system and communicate with me, then yeah, there's a lot of that goes on with Amazon Connect. Anyway, I just wanted to show you. You'll see different diagrams of this, and there's some good stuff out there on YouTube. Take a look at it. But I just wanted to give you my 2 cents and what I see right now. My main goal of um, Salesforce and case management. This stuff, the Amazon queue and the app flow. This is all extremely critical, and I find agent workspaces to be the hot topic. Agent workspaces basically connects the data from CRMs with case management with Amazon Q so that the agent gets everything they need to help the customer. This is the hot stuff. And like I said, you can't underestimate any service on this diagram. There's just they're all important. But but like I said, don't struggle. Just use and get the most you can out of the system and and choose your battles. IAM is always going to play a picture, and you know that, and you're always going to need permission for one service to talk to another service to talk to Amazon Connect. So you have to understand all that stuff. Anyway, let's move on. Enough talking. Let's move on to the next view graph.